The tragedy at the Holyoke Soldiers Home litigated today in front of a judge as the former superintendent and medical director are looking to get the criminal charges dismissed.
The charges stem from the deadly COVID-19 outbreak at the home that left 77 veteran residents dead as the pandemic first started to unfold in the state. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo is live for us in Holyoke with those details. Audrey.
You may remember these charges were handed down by the Attorney General. Today's proceedings took the entire day, and it was an attempt to get the charges dismissed. The judge didn't make a decision today, and the case was ultimately continued until October. But what was mainly being argued is whether or not the leaders of the home could be considered caretakers. Now, former Superintendent Bennett Walsh and former Medical Director David Clinton are each facing 5 caretaker bodily injury charges and 5 caretaker neglect charges. Their attorneys today argued that neither man fits the state's definition of being a primary caretaker for the 5 late veterans named in this case. At the crux of the Commonwealth's argument, the decision by the home's leadership to consolidate the dementia units exposed veterans to COVID-19. They say that represents a decision to give the vets substandard care.
There is simply no reason why the grand jury's judgment that a supervisor who makes a decision that has a clear effect on the health of the elders cannot be held as the primary and substantial caregiver in that situation.
One of the attorneys for Bennett Walsh argues that the defendants are not primary caregivers as they do not directly care for each veteran. The attorney also argued that blame can't be assigned in this tragedy.
We don't think anyone here should be blamed criminally for anything. The blame here belongs with the virus, not with anybody who worked in that nursing home. And to suggest that we're trying to shift that blame from ourselves to someone else who works hard down on the floor, nothing could be further from the truth.
And this was all playing out in court in front of several family members for veterans who died in the home. Coming up on Western Mass News at 6, we'll hear from one of those family members who talked about what it was like to see all of these details be brought to light again nearly more than a year after the outbreak first started. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.